my taste. But he was dumped, and I mean to sit there and say I was dumped and I'm the ex-boyfriend. Good for him. Good for him. But I really don't think Paige did anything wrong. And he did bring up, he's dashed my hopes and dreams because Taylor Ann Green, who wants to see him with Rachel Kirkconnell who was dumped by Matt James from The Bachelor. Craig has said, we know them. We've hung out with them. We're kind of just friends. All right, well, weren't you kind of just friends with Paige in the beginning? So I'm not so sure that this is the end of Craig and Rachel Kirkconnell. Although Craig has said we're just friends, I am not going to believe it just yet. Sorry, I just can't do it. Um, what else can we quickly talk about? Messy G, my girl, Messy G. Some of you call her Melissa Gorga. Messy G was just on the Sherry Shepherd show. I gotta say, stepping away from this is what they want. It ended in August. We're like heading into what is that? Like we're like at 7 months now since this was on the air. Uh Messy G appears to be lighter to me. She appears to be lighter than Teresa Giudice. Teresa just still seems to be such a nasty, with like a chip on her shoulder every interview she does. Melissa just seems light as a feather. That's where I'm sitting. That's where I'm sitting. So she's on Sherry Shepherd. She seemed like she don't care for nothing. She's doing the sprinkle cookies. What I took away from this really, and I know a lot of people hate Melissa. It really is a shame because who knows what type of housewife Teresa could have been without Melissa. And I just think Melissa could have been a great housewife without Teresa. Like she really does fit the bill. And yes, you could go back to the argument that Melissa would probably not even be a housewife if it wasn't for Teresa and the brother and blah, blah, blah. Who knows? But I don't know. Very light. And I just thought she did a good job. She revealed she writes love notes to Mr. Gorga, the little guy. You know the little guy, Josefina Gorgasita. He's a little guy, and no height shaming because I ain't so tall, girls. I actually prefer a shorter guy, by the way. 5'8" to like 5'11", like 5'9" to 5'11" is perfect. But I'd rather date 5'7" or 5'8" than like 6'4". Just me. What do I know? Who am I? Who cares? But anyway, Melissa has addressed the cash shakeup, and she said, of course, there's a chance she'll be returning. We'll see. And she's still saying we were told we'll get news after the new year. Honey, as far as the interviews I've heard, we're talking 2026. So Melissa seems to think they're working on it now, and she has good intel, and they're definitely bringing in some new girls, and I'm assuming they're going to keep some familiar faces. I don't think anyone knows fucking anything. I think it's gotta be hard because Melissa's promoting her sprinkle cookies. Teresa's promoting her appearances. She's appearing with some porn star someone sent me and some doing one of her appearances somewhere. Go get your bag, Teresa. But it's gotta be hard doing all these interviews, knowing absolutely positively nothing. I don't think, she said, look, I don't think I'll talk to Teresa. That ship has sailed. It doesn't matter because Teresa won't talk to you, but it's just, I don't know. A reboot doesn't work. Hello, Roni. Okay. If we wanted, Atlanta is where I go. We did not reboot Atlanta because we were already in the mix with New York. And so that didn't work. So when it came to Atlanta, which they thought about rebooting. They didn't do it because of Roni. So now we have Atlanta with this mixed bag of shit. Now let's wait a second to see how the mixed bag of shit plays itself out. Okay. I didn't like the trailer. I thought it was very strange. There's no Kenya. Phaedra comes in at the end. Kenya's there in the beginning. And then the other 90% of the cast is there the whole season. I didn't like the trailer. I think it's going to be a shit season. I can be proven wrong, okay? Salt Lake City season 3, the worst ever, one of the worst in Housewives history, and I gave up and I was never watching the show again. And then Monica Garcia came in season 4 and I fucking loved it and season 5 was fucking brilliant. So, I don't know everything. There's only 3 people in the world who know everything. One is Madonna, 2 is Cher, and 3 is Bethany Frankel. They know everything, right? That Bethany tells us every day. And I got bad news for Sarah later in this week with that Bethany. But There we are. So I don't know, but this Atlanta looks like shit to me. So we rebooted New York and that doesn't work. We have a mixed bag in Atlanta and let's see if that works. So I don't think they're rebooting New Jersey. I agree. I don't think we're starting over with new people. I don't think it's never coming back. I think the ratings were too good and let the whole thing fail, bring it back to fail before we don't bring it back at all. So I really go back to I don't think it's going to be rebooted and I don't think it's gone forever. I think Vanderpump the reboot is ways into this. I mean, not really because that's different, but I think they're going to figure this out. I don't know what they're going to do. I still really don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how you can keep Teresa knowing that she'll never speak to Melissa again. And now we're firing Melissa, who is lighter and brighter and in a way more on brand to be a housewife that is on an ensemble show to interact with everyone. We're firing someone who, in my opinion, is better at the job because you're Teresa. That to me doesn't seem like a win-win situation that will work for the network because we're giving Teresa all the power and letting someone go who is right for the job gives too much power to Teresa. So I don't see that happening. And keeping Melissa and not Teresa, well, she's Teresa. I don't know how they're going to do that either. I think the network is in a lose lose, and I don't think we're close. Hey, we could be listening to this right now, and there could be a decision tomorrow morning. Anyway, we got a lot of other stuff to talk about. We'll have to do later in the week. It's just a quick hit. Good luck to Craig and Paige. You're both going to find love again. You're both young. LVP, I don't know about you, girl. I don't know. I'm not so sure. And I'm not feeling it with James Kennedy. I'm going to be honest with you. So go get her, Doherty. Kristen Doherty. God, I have Shannon Doherty on my mind. Hopefully everyone's having a good Sunday. It's Super Bowl. We're actually having this event here today. I don't know. Is anyone else not into the Super Bowl? And yes, Blake Lively isn't going. But by the way, let's not read too much into that. I'm not sure if Taylor's really distancing herself. I don't think she wants to get subpoenaed. And I don't think, you mean, it's a multi-billion-dollar business. I don't think you fuck with that. I think you do protect that. Why is no one making the argument that maybe it's like when Tom Holland and Zendaya walk the red carpet and Tom Holland says, when Zendaya has a movie, she walks the carpet alone. Same thing with Timothy Chalamet. He walks the carpet alone. Why? Because if Kylie were there, it'd be all about Kylie. Maybe Blake and Ryan are staying away because if they're there, it's going to be all about them and the interaction between them and Taylor. Maybe they're staying away to not have the Super Bowl, which should be all about Travis Kelce, be about Travis Kelce. Maybe that's why Blake and Ryan aren't going. I don't really care about the damn thing, but did anyone think that? Maybe it's the same reason that Kylie doesn't walk the carpet with that gorgeous, beautiful man, Timothy Chalamet. I don't know, but we have to go. Enjoy your Sunday. All new episode tomorrow. Love you guys. Love you guys. What would I do without my ropers? You are my